listening to, but there's nobody here to turn it to. So
Yeah.
when we have a studio audience, that's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna
All right. Start it. Yeah.
roll
Go
the
ahead.
intro.
Rolling.
I've never heard that, but that's the origin of CAP. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
Principles that
Right.
we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have to.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now. Now
It's
deep.
incredible. I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And, and applying the recovery, I thought.
Hey, everyone. Honesty Liller here, CEO of McShin. You guys already know me and what I do and who I am. Woman in recovery for, almost 18 years now next month. Oh, my goodness. You saw Barbie on there.
Yeah.
Barbie, your girl. She all our girls. She's amazing.
Yeah,
I was
she is.
looking at it.
She is all over the place every single day. She's watching my dogs this weekend, actually. So we have a special guest here today. We've known each other for a long time.
Right.
We had a recovery program years and years ago in the Richmond City Jail. Richmond City Justice Center now.
Yeah.
But our guest today, we're just going to have a conversation with William Burnett. He is running for Richmond City Sheriff. And introduce yourself.
Yes. I'm William Burnett. Like she said, we've known each other for a while and known the program. I've always thought good things about the program. I'm running for sheriff. I did 32 years with the Richmond Police Department.
Wow.
Well, I'm saying, let me correct that. 32 years total. I did 20 years with the Richmond Police Department as a sergeant, a detective, all different roles in the police department. I did 12 years at Richmond Sheriff's Department, where I was lieutenant colonel there for some time, and I've served my country, and I've had a good life, a good job situation since I've since retired in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I saw that on social. Good for you. Last 3 weeks. Well, you look 30 years old. So I don't know how in the heck you did that many years. Good night. I saw that you retired. Well, thank you for serving our country and serving the community for so long. I mean, that's amazing. And that's hard. Like, I've talked to police officers and individuals that have served, and it's very traumatic as well, so thank you for going through all that and trying to keep our city safe. So just tell us a little bit about why did you get into that field and why do you want to be sheriff?
Well, it goes back to when I was in college, when I was arrested.
All right. Okay. At one of those parties.
Exactly. I had a party at my house, and to make a long story short, it got out of hand. Police were called. Got so much out of hand, they called the state police, the sheriff department, city
what
police.
college?
That's quite a party.
In Fayetteville,
okay.
in North Carolina, Fayetteville State University.
Oh, wow.
So it was off campus, and I had a party off campus. But anyhow, to make a long story short, I ended up getting arrested for inciting a riot.
Oh, my goodness.
And my punishment was that I had to ride with this police officer every Friday, Saturday night to see how it was to break up a party. And that was my punishment. And at first, it was hi, bye. That's all we said to each other. And as the weekends went by, I started looking at the little gadgets in the car, and make a long story short, I ended up being a police officer going through that experience in my life.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, like a teenager, punk teenager, and then you turn into police from that lived experience. I mean, that's kind of like us here, like our addiction at McShin or someone in recovery. It's like our lived experience is helping to save lives, and we transform our own lives in recovery. And then now look, that's crazy. That's a cool story, though.
And the thing about it is, no life, in my opinion, no family goes untouched when it comes to drugs. I end up, I had a brother that overdosed. I had a sister that was on drugs for years and years and years and years, and she finally got her life together and got it changed. It took some time.
Yeah, it does.
But I remember the times when I had to, me and my brother and my father, we would be out looking for the car, because you know how sometimes you take the car and pawn it off and all that kind of stuff, and we'd have to look for the car and look for, try to find her and make sure that she was okay. So A lot of people go through addiction,
Mhm.
and it's been my passion to participate and help with trying to change lives.
Yeah. From your lived experience, like you don't have to be the one with the substance use disorder. Look at everything that you've
That's
been
right.
through with your family. And I'm sorry about your brother.
Oh, yeah.
Something just popped in my head. I was like, gosh, I did used to pawn my car to drug dealers all the time. One time I went all the way to Florida because I was dope sick. And then we came back from Florida just to get dope because we were going to like do the marijuana, try to do marijuana. This is 100 years ago, and try to like just smoke weed and not use use heroin anymore.
Right.
But we were dope sick, so we drove all the way back and stole gasoline the whole way back from Florida to Richmond. And then I gave my drug dealer the car for like 2 days. Oh gosh, I'm so grateful that I don't have to do that anymore. Just little things pop in my head and remind me, I'm like, I am a completely different person now because of recovery and just working my butt off. So how was your experience like being a police officer and like then working in the sheriff's office to unpack that just a little? Like obviously you want to run for sheriff, so you're still like loving the vibe.
Yeah, and I would say, I have a passion for kids.
Okay.
A big passion for
Okay.
kids and seniors. Those always been.
I love my
yeah.
seniors.
They've always been the two that I focused a lot of my time and
Okay.
attention on. Even when it came to when I was a sergeant and I worked in the community working drug enforcement, they would call me and say, I can't sit on my porch because the guys out here shooting. And I would put a massive amount of effort in that neighborhood, even if I had to lock everybody in the block up. Because these guys would be out there and they had no regards to people who live, and most of them didn't even. 90% of them didn't even live
in the neighborhood. Oh wow!
But they would come to the neighborhood, and it would be that distraction for people who wanted to be out. They wanted the kids to be out, and So I've always been tough on drugs, and let me say this: I'm not a person that's not passionate or compassionate when it comes to people who are on drugs. But I was never one that allowed people to give me an excuse about why they couldn't do this or why they couldn't. I came from, I laugh all the time because I tell people I came from a place where I was so poor. I didn't even know I was poor until I left the neighborhood. Because everybody around you
is
in the same circumstances.
Sure.
So when I left to go from high school and left to go to college, then I look back and I said, dog, I was poor.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I know that the sacrifices and the struggles my parents made in order, and my brothers and sisters, because I was the first one to go to college in my household.
Oh wow!
And I know the sacrifices that my mom and dad made trying to, so I could go to a better school district that the bus didn't go to. I would use my uncle's address.
Okay.
But then they would give me their car and they caught the bus to work and I would drive their car.
Oh my goodness. Are you the oldest?
The youngest.
You're the youngest or you're the baby.
Yeah.
So you got
so
treated like one.
I got a little bit more, not a lot, but a little bit better than circumstances, my brothers and sisters.
Wow. So your parents rode the bus really quick and gave you the car.
And
wow.
My brothers and sisters would give me money so I could have food for being in college. One time, my dad bought me a little, we call a hoop down to what they call them now.
I still do.
Yeah. But a
whip. I don't know either.
Whip,
my kid's 15. He got all kinds of new words. Yeah.
So it was constantly breaking down. So my brother would one week he would give me his car and I would drive. And then the following week, my brother would flip and they would give me their car to drive.
What made you, no offense, like so special? I mean, that's a lot. They just like you were the last hope, like to.
I don't think it was me being special. They just knew the importance of somebody in the family
going to college. Wow.
And because I had taken that sacrifice, it was a sacrifice back then. Yeah. that they wanted to make sure that I had every opportunity to succeed in what I was doing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my heart is just
Yeah.
melting for y'all. That is a beauty. Are your parents still alive?
No, my mom passed away about 2 years
Oh,
ago,
I'm sorry.
and my dad, he passed away some time back.
Yeah.
But we are very, very close knit family.
Mhm.
And
I mean, I'm sure
oh
from the
yeah,
jump.
oh yeah,
Jeez.
we're
Yeah.
very, very close. That's one of the things that I would say to most people, what advantage I did have
Mhm.
over some families today. And
Yeah.
as I had a lot of love in our family,
Yeah.
my dad wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
but he made sure he took care of his
Yeah.
family, made sure that things were taken care of.
Mhm.
And we don't have a lot of our youth fall by the wayside because they don't
Mhm.
have that family
I
bond.
know.
They don't
Yeah.
have that connection. And that's a huge loss when you're
Yeah.
talking about dealing with the public.
Mhm.
So, I go that extra mile
Mhm.
to make sure that, I'm doing everything I can for these kids out in the community
Yeah.
to be successful,
Yeah.
even though I don't have young kids, but I do a lot in the community for
Mhm.
the youth, and I do a lot for the seniors. I put on events often for just
Aw.
for my seniors and all. So, I have that motivation and passion
Mhm.
to continue.
Yeah.
Now, being sheriff will give me that opportunity to do
Mhm.
even more because the plans that I have is just beyond
Can you
imagine.
unpack some of those, or are they legit like locked away? Like
Oh,
what would be some of your initiatives for the population of Richmond City as a whole, children,
right,
the elderly, substance use disorder? I mean, we definitely want
right,
what's up with that. Obviously, we want to know
right.
that
And
answer.
well, I'm gonna tell you, I have it set in stages, and one, I got to start working on, changing mindsets, partnering with organizations just like the McShin
Mhm.
Foundation, and your heart program. That's
Mhm.
one
I
that,
just had lunch with him
yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
I've talked to him in the past.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful program.
Bru- and
And you can, and anyone can mirror. I mean, he's open to help anyone. I mean,
and
that's the whole point.
and that's the beautiful part about it. I'm
Mhm.
not one to say, look what I did. I started this new
Oh,
brand.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take programs that are already
Get it.
proven and that works, and I'm gonna drop them into the
Yeah.
sheriff department.
So what are some things that you think you could do to make change out in the actual community too?
Well, it's two things. When I said I was focused with my youth,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start something that we've never done before in the sheriff
Okay.
department, and that's gonna be a PAL program.
Okay.
We've lost that in the city of
What is the
Richmond.
PAL program?
It's the Police Athletic League, reaching our
Oh.
youth through athletics.
Oh, yes. I'm
Yeah.
all about that.
So that's going to be one of the programs that's never been at the sheriff department.
Never ever?
Never ever.
Oh, what? Where did you see it from?
Well,
Just around the world?
with the police department.
Oh, the
So
police department.
we
Okay,
had
sorry.
we
Yeah.
had a PAL program,
Okay.
but I recently met the director of PAL for Henrico County.
Oh, okay.
And we've agreed to sit down, and he's going to sit on my board. He's going to
Mhm.
help me get started. He's also the national president of PAL
Oh,
across the
wow.
country. So I have a resource right here
Yeah, that's a big one.
right here in the city, in the city of Richmond, that's willing and able to
Mhm.
help me get to the place that, I think that's going to be a benefit to the city.
Yeah.
I'm also going to start a cadet program
Okay.
for our youth. And what we do a lot of times is we get our youth and we keep them in programs for a year, and we
Mhm.
hope the best for them,
Yeah.
and we wish them well.
Yeah.
My program is going to be designed. I'm going to hire 3 counselors,
Okay.
and they're going to be at each level. So my program is designed to keep you from a youth all the way till you graduate from high school.
Wow.
And then once you graduate from high school, then I'm going to bring you in at the sheriff department as a
Mhm.
cadet. And hopefully I can keep you there and give you a job down the line if you choose to stay in.
Wow.
So each level will go from 9, I forgot the details,
The
but
age-
from
okay.
from 9-year-old
Mhm.
until about 12 years old. Then the
Mhm.
next
Level. Yeah.
level would pick up from 12 years old to 15,
Mhm.
and then from 15 on up to graduation.
Wow.
And see, we're not planning on doing like a lot. we get people to say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do mentorships. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it."
Mhm.
They do it for a short time, and then that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But these are job positions.
Yeah.
That means that you have to maintain these kids. You got to figure out
Yeah,
ways.
keep them occupied
keep
and not
'em-
distracted.
And I'm going to partner with the outside public
Mhm.
to help me keep this program moving forward. So, I might get a drug substance abuse program to come in and talk about the bad parts of drugs and the effects of how things happen and all. So I'm gonna partner with, and at the same time partnering with Richmond Public School as well to talk about education, the importance of education, the importance of reading, the mentorship.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a design program that I plan on creating for my youth. So we're doing things that's never been done before. I'm going to play a role in reducing crime in the city of Richmond. That's one of my big goals.
Yeah.
And a reason that we have to do, I'm not going to focus on people that put people in jail for substance abuse or mental health or even minor charges of possession or child support, those types of things. But what I am going to focus on, those that go out and commit the worst crimes in the city of Richmond. We have almost at least 10,000 warrants unserved in the Richmond Police Department.
Whoa.
And the last person that went over on South Side and killed the clerk, he was wanted from Richmond, Chesterfield, and another jurisdiction. Before that.
I told you I do Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
Wheel of Fortune
yeah,
is my show. I don't watch that news. My husband loves the news, so he fills me in on things I need to know because I won't sleep at night.
Right. So these people that go out and do those, even after giving the person the money, the clerk, he was still shot and killed. And so I'm gonna have people out there to look for those type of people to bring them in off the street. It's something that we've never done at the sheriff department. We're gonna play an active role in reducing crime. We've also gonna play a role in being visible in the community because we have to bridge that connection in law enforcement from the police.
So they're not scared of you and scared to come tell and like protect their community. Like the elderly are calling you. Not everybody is able to do that because of their home situation. They want to feel like y'all are there to protect them and not lock them up.
Right.
People have to get locked up for crimes, obviously.
Right.
I mean, that's the
Some
world.
People have to.
Some people need to be rehabilitated, though, and that's like the biggest thing that we love about, because we have 2 jail programs ourselves, and Sheriff Leonard and Harp and every other program like that. They're just amazing because while you have those humans incarcerated, you teach them so much about themselves and like true love and healing and so much trauma, like from a little child to a teenager, like in the living situation. Like you just can't help, like God gives us our parents, and sometimes we just can't help our situations, and that's when we get older, we change ourselves or we do something different. What about the older folks? What you going to do with them?
Well, let me just skip what I left a piece out.
Yeah, go ahead.
And when we talk about our youth, helping our youth, and I talk about what I call building better families.
Okay.
When you decide that you're going to help that youth, you got to remember, you take that youth out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
You train them, you build them up, and then you put them back in a bad situation.
Right.
We got to have that mindset that we got to help the family. The entire
heal
family.
the family. Yeah.
Because if not, you're spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
So that's when it goes into our substance abuse and our mental health. We have to look for the very best. I'm not wasting time trying to design my own program. I'm looking at programs that's going to work.
Yeah.
And that's been proven that it works. And then we're going to bring them down to the sheriff department. I'm going to tweak it a little bit there because I want to add my own little pieces in. But the programs that like the Heart program or McShin Foundation and different programs like that, these are programs that's been around for years and we know that they work. Now, do I want to add maybe mentorship or in my piece to it?
Yeah.
These are the things that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna bring in a lot of civilians because we have to partner with not only the churches and politicians and law enforcement, but we got to partner with, just your average everyday person who
Mhm.
wants to be a part of making change.
Yeah. Okay.
But we I promise I don't make very many promises because I don't want to sound like a politician. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a politician. I don't want to sound like I'm making you all these promises and then you won't see me for the next 4 years until it's time to get reelected.
Yeah.
And going across the city, I found that a lot of people said that, I hope you don't turn out like the other politicians. They come in, ask for our vote, and then we don't see them until 4 years later. Only thing I will promise you that I'm going to do my very best to keep every program, everything that I can do to make people's lives a lot better than what they have now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this goes to like 900 jails across the United States. Can you give them a hope shot out there? Like if they're in there incarcerated watching this right now.
Let me tell you this. If you out there and I tell you, my best friend from 5 years old is
Wow.
he
Gosh, I
had
don't have any of those.
yeah.
I don't.
He has been on every type of drug.
Okay.
He's been locked up in every probably jail almost in North Carolina. And I remember when he got himself clean and he came out and he had on his license plate, Bounce Back.
Oh.
And I was like,
like
where you get the name of that, Bounce Back? He told me, because this time when I bounce back, it ain't gonna be no going back. So he's been doing very well. I have named a new program that I'm gonna put in place called Bounce Back.
That's cool.
And it's specifically for the guys who have gotten themselves in trouble, but they've changed their life. And I'm gonna give them an opportunity to work for me at the Richmond Sheriff's Office. And they're gonna be my liaisons to the community.
Yeah.
They're gonna be my examples. And I'm gonna create about 6 positions. And they will work all over the city as an employee for the sheriff department. And their job would be to attend community meetings with me, attend meet and greets. They're going to attend civic associations. And a lot of times it will be with the sheriff. And we will go out and we're going to talk to the public. We're going to talk to the youth. We're going to visit schools and we're going to talk about the real side, because I can talk from a policing standpoint, but hearing it from somebody who has experienced the life, who have gone through and saw the bad things, that outcome is a whole nother story.
100.
Yeah. So they're going to work for me.
That's cool. That's what we do here. Most of our staff are alumni.
That's right.
Of our housing. Probably like 92% of our staff are alumni.
So my message to those out there, if you want a second
you can
chance,
look at that camera.
Yeah, if you want a second chance and you looking to seriously, do the right thing and be a good positive change to the community. If you are getting out within this year, reach out to me, because I'm looking for some good people to come work for me at the Richmond Sheriff's Department.
Awesome. Well, good luck with everything. And thank you for your time on your busy, campaign trail for coming to hang out with us.
And I appreciate you having me here.
Of course.
This is a privilege for me.
Yeah.
It really is a privilege for me. So I appreciate you just having me here.
Of course. And thank you for talking about your family and everything and opening up to us. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.